Hey y'all, Rob the American here, and welcome to chapter 13, 14 of Tales of Manchester and of Watches. Now, you all know how bad I am with numbers and stuff, so I'm starting to lose track of where we're at with the number system. I might have to give that up altogether. Anyway, today we're going to do something completely different. Now, one of the things when I moved to the UK from the States, you know, the language is the same, but cultures are very different. And some of the things I missed most were some of the foods. And one of the foods that I've missed most of all are biscuits. Now, American biscuits are completely different than British biscuits because British biscuits are cookies or like cookies. And when you try to explain what an American biscuit is to a British person, they're kind of confused and they're a little horrified and they're like, "Is that a scone?" I'm like, "No, scones are kind of sweet. This is savory. It's fluffy and light and buttery." And what I found is American biscuits are closer to British dumplings, but they're not the same. And American dumplings are completely different than British dumplings. So anyway, so I came across an American couple who've relocated to Manchester, and they are fixing up American biscuits for British folks. And so today we are going to pay them a visit. And on my wrist today is this. So I'm going to strap this on, and I hope y'all will join me. Come on. All right, y'all. We are making our way through the northern quarter to our destination to meet the biscuit folks. We are on Newton Street. Yep. That's where we are. There's a bunch of construction and stuff. Hopefully y'all can hear me okay. There's some cool buildings around here. Oh, check this out. It's the Manchester Worker Bee mural. How cool is that, y'all? All right, the weather has actually gotten milder. Alexa told me this morning it was about mid-40s today, Fahrenheit. So mid-40s, so let's say 45. Subtract 30 and divide by 2. That's 45 minus 30, that's 15. And divide by 2 is 15. 8, 7, that's 6, 7.5. Hey, here we are. Anyway. There's some cool buildings around before we get to our destination. This is another loft conversion of a factory. And then let's cross the street without trying to get killed. Look at this one. I think this was like this, they called it the sorting house. I think it was a post office at one time. Look at that, y'all. That's all apartments and stuff too. This is a street in Manchester that I haven't taken y'all through in the northern quarter, but you'll recognize some. We're gonna get killed by a car. I'm willing to do a lot for y'all, but not hopefully not get smashed by a car. All right, and a bus. All right, I'm gonna flip this around and we're gonna look at some interesting buildings. We're almost at our destination. All right, this is the police museum. I have not been in here yet, but I'm real curious to get in there. I believe it's run by retired cops, and it's supposed to be really interesting, so we will check that out at some point. There's a couple of other cool buildings next to it, and then look at what's across the street from this. All right, y'all better be sitting down, and not in a good way. Look at that. This is probably the ugliest building in Manchester. It's hideous is not even doesn't do it justice. It is foul. Look at this, y'all. Good Lord, that is an embarrassment and a disgrace. Gosh, it's terrible. But across the street from this ugliness is something awesome. Look at that. Wow. This used to be a hostel, and they closed during the lockdown, and I don't think they ever reopened. Look at this building, y'all. That's a wow. Oh my God, look at that. One of your nicer hostels, I'm sure. All right, we are back in Stevenson Square. And this is our destination for today. And within this building are a couple of clubs and restaurants. And the restaurant we are going into today is called Ply. All right, y'all, I am in Ply Restaurant. It is closed. It's a Monday. You can kind of see around me. Everything is shut down. It'll give us a chance to come and chat with the biscuit makers, which I'm super excited about. This restaurant itself is pretty cool. You come here on the weekends or in the evenings and stuff, and it is lots of music, and it's crazy. I've been in here one time when there was a fight. It's not like a rough place or anything, but you know, alcohol and stuff like that. But no, it's a great place. Now, this building originally was a foundry, and then during the war and after the war became a temporary children's hospital. All right, y'all, we've had a seat, we've gotten something to drink, and have a look at this. Oh yeah, wow. This is the Orient Kamasu diver's watch. Orient is a Japanese watch company that's owned by Epson in affiliation with Seiko. Now, I got this watch on sale at Amazon for less than 150 pounds. And most folks think it's way more expensive than that. Now, I had a non-watch pal of mine at my house, and he was just messing with my watches, just kind of looking through them. And I, just off the top of my head, I said, hey, if you could have any one of those watches, which one would you pick? And of course, we're talking about some really nice watches. And believe it or not, he picked this one. And that should tell you how amazing this watch is. Why don't we have a closer look? All right, y'all, check out that dial. Wow. It's a blue sunburst dial. If you take this out into the sunlight, this thing really shines with that matching blue bezel. And y'all know I'm a sucker for a great seconds hand, and this watch does not disappoint with that kind of reddish orange pointer. I think it's amazing. Why don't we put it on the wrist? Wow. Look how well this watch fits on my 6.5-inch wrist. It is so cool. Again, that's the great thing about watch collecting. Watches do not have to be expensive to be awesome. We are going to be having a chat with the folks from Cardinal Rule. And of course, y'all means y'all. All right, y'all, I am sitting across from Gab and Dustin, the biscuit makers in Manchester, who I have fallen in love with, and I want y'all to all fall in love with them too. So, some questions for y'all. How did y'all end up in Manchester?
Yeah, so I first came to Manchester in 2017, and then Gab and I were able to come again in 2018, and just really fell in love with the city. A lot of friendly people.
Yeah, it's a great city.
Loved the creativity and the music scene, and Manchester just seemed like it had a lot going for it, and it was just a really attractive place. So at the end of that trip, we decided to the plan was one day move back to the UK.
Right.
My dad was born in Bradford.
Oh,
so
right.
I'm a dual citizen. I've got my UK citizenship. And
that's awesome.
That made the planning a little bit easier, but so we left in 2018 with this kind of plan that one day we would come back
and here y'all are.
Yeah,
here we are.
Yeah.
And your name, I was just looking at y'all's shirts, which are super cool, by the way. If you're not selling them, you should be.
It's in the works.
Okay, awesome. So the name Cardinal Rule, what's that about?
So the cardinal is the state bird of Virginia. It's actually the state bird of several states, but we care about Virginia. And Cardinal Rule is sort of what is your highest held principle? What's your most central core principle? So it's sort of a play on Virginia, and also like what are the things that are important to us. So for us, it's authenticity, being good to one another, the idea of meals as a really important communal event.
Right.
So that's kind of where
That's great. That's awesome. Those are good mottos to live by 100%. And why biscuits? If you're doing kind of an American concept, but why specifically biscuits? And as y'all, I'm sure know, American biscuits are not anywhere anything like British biscuits. So y'all are salmon swimming up the tide.
Truly. Why biscuits?
I mean, it's just something we grew up with. I mean, I remember being a kid at the school that I went to just outside of Charlottesville, Virginia, serving sausage gravy biscuits, chipped beef gravy. Like it's just it's my earliest memories are always involve biscuits in some shape or form.
Yeah.
Family functions, ham biscuits, little mini ham biscuits.
I think our British listeners are kind of rolling their heads, or kind of going, "Oh, what are they talking about?" and stuff like that. But listen, y'all are in for such a treat.
It's our equivalent of a full English breakfast. It's a quintessential part of Southern American culture to have that as your big jolly breakfast.
I think that's awesome. And how's the reception been so far?
It's been really good. I think the biggest hurdle is getting people to try it, and every time somebody tries it, the feedback is really great. They really enjoy it. They say, "Oh, that's not what I was expecting," but they have to try it for them to receive it well. So that's I think the biggest.
And I think, in fact, I was talking to y'all a little while ago and saying I was trying to remember when I first came into consciousness that y'all were gonna be serving American biscuits, and I didn't know y'all. I didn't know. I knew of Ply, so I said to my friends, I said, "Oh my God, y'all, they're gonna be serving American biscuits," and they were all either rolling their eyes or making faces or saying no thank you. And I said, just try them. And a good pal of mine came with me when we came in the first time and ordered it, and I was just grinning from ear to ear.
Okay.
And so I thought this is the real deal.
That makes me happy.
This is the real deal. And what do you find the difference between Brits and Americans? Because y'all cook back in the States, right? And I think you told me that y'all lived in Austin for a while.
Did. So the difference, I think the biggest difference is that, like you just highlighted it. So there's biscuit shops are almost a dime a dozen in any major city in the U.S. And the difference that we've seen here is that Americans seek us out, and they find us and they talk to us on Instagram and say, "Oh my goodness, I'm so happy you're here. This is a taste of home. I can't wait to come check you out. I'm from Ohio or North Carolina, etc., Georgia." Whereas with British people, I think they're kind of like, "Oh, biscuits and gravy." I mean, that conjures a very different image. There's a language barrier despite it being the same language. Yeah. And so I think that there's just a little bit of a disconnect between what the preconceptions are about American food or American biscuits and what they actually are. So it's funny because for Americans, it's like, this is our comfort food, and for British people, it's out of their comfort zone. So it's just trying to get people to try it and realize that good comforting food is actually really universal.
And how are you going to break through to get that consciousness going?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely the tricky part. I think for us, the key to success is just going to be getting people to try them. And once we can get a biscuit in somebody's mouth here, they love it,
And I will have to brag on him for a second. His chicken makes a compelling case. Biscuits are a fantastic vehicle for chicken, and the chicken that he makes is undeniable. And so I think that's kind of how we hook people, is say, like, we've got some really good fried chicken, and biscuit happens to be the vehicle, and the two work really well if you give it a chance.
Yeah, Manchester loves fried chicken. There's a lot of good fried chicken in the city, so it's like we do have something that they're familiar with on the menu.
So right now, y'all are cooking in Ply Restaurant in the Northern Quarter. What are the times where people that are want to check it out? When can they come in and try them?
So we operate Tuesday through Saturday, 4:30 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Okay, so that's Tuesday at Ply in the Northern Quarter. And in terms of y'all's long range plans and stuff, have you thought about British domination, world domination for biscuits? Okay, well let's how about Manchester domination for biscuits? What do you think?
I mean, we want to have a brick and mortar of our own one day for sure. I mean, that's what we're working towards, and I think people in Manchester appreciate independent makers who kind of start from the ground up. So we're putting in the work. We started with some pop-ups. We found a residency. we're going to move on to another residency after this, and you know, we're working our way. I think what do they call it? Your graft. Someone said the other day, like you
doing hard graft. Yeah. I've heard that. I've heard that quite.
So we're working our way towards a brick and mortar.
That's respected in this country. If you do the hard graft, people do respect that.
Which is great because we have no other. That's
y'all's way.
That's the only route that we can take.
That's awesome. And how can people find y'all on social media or anything like that? How would they?
Yeah. So we're on Instagram. It's at Cardinal Rule _MCR.
At Cardinal Rule _MCR. Okay.
And then our website is cardinalrule.co.uk.
Cardinalrule.co.uk. Okay.
Stay tuned for all the TikTok and all that. We're working on it.
All right, super. Well, I think we're gonna actually get and look at making some biscuits and getting together and stuff like that. So, all right, guys, thank you all so much for your time. I'm super excited. I can't wait to taste the biscuits.
Yes.
All right, y'all. I am in the kitchen where all the magic happens with Dustin and Gab. So y'all can kind of see around me. Why don't we start with Gab? Let me flip this around. All right, where are we at now?
All right, so after the dough rests, we do a series of folds that create those nice fluffy layers that are the hallmark of a biscuit.
Okay.
And this is what they look like after we've frozen them. And we're about to put them in the oven.
Oh, I can't wait.
Some butter in there.
How long will they bake for?
These will bake for 30 minutes.
And then they are
ready to eat.
Oh my God.
Delightfully warm and fluffy and buttery.
All right, y'all. You're going to have to take my word for this, but I cannot wait.
Come on down.
All right, y'all, check these out.
Fresh out of the oven, ready for gravy, jam, fried chicken, maybe not all those things at once.
Or just as they are.
As they are.
And they smell, I wish y'all could smell them, guys, because, oh my God, they smell so great.
Smells like butter.
All right, let's dig in.
Let's do it.
All right, y'all, here it is, the finished biscuit. Oh my God, it smells so good. And look at this. Light, flaky. I don't know if y'all can see the steam coming off of it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow. Oh my God. Now, Americans will have these with gravy poured all over them, or some jelly or jam, excuse me. Or I like them just with a little bit of butter on them because they are, oh my God. Let me get the butter on. Y'all should be super jealous. Here we go. Putting some butter on there. And let's have a bite. It's fluffy, a little flaky, a little doughy, with a little crust on the outside. Oh my God. I'm jealous of myself, and I'm eating them. Wow. Nothing like a scone, nothing like a dumpling. American biscuits. So y'all get on down to Ply to Cardinal Rule and try these out for yourself. When they put that fried chicken on it, wow, that's good too. Look at that. Y'all should be super jealous right now. All right, y'all, that's it for me today. Of course, we've got to thank Gab and Dustin from Cardinal Rule for inviting us into their biscuit making world so I could share it with y'all. So if you find yourself in Manchester, come on into the Northern Quarter, into Ply, and try their chicken on a biscuit. Y'all will not be disappointed. And be sure and tell them that Rob the American sent you. And if you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll give it a like and subscribe to the channel. And by all means, leave a message down below. But remember, be merciful. I'm one small guy. And I hope you'll join me next time for another amazing Manchester building and another super awesome watch. All right, y'all, be well.